A license doesn't mean a thing if your warehouse is a mess or your trucks aren't up to snuff. This next part is all about where compliance gets tangible. We're talking steel, concrete, and wheels.
So, the SFDA sets a pretty clear baseline for warehouses. You can think of it as the minimum price of admission for handling medical devices. The space has to be specifically for this purpose. It's got to be clean, well lit, and have proper ventilation to stop any contamination. And of course, things like safety tools are mandatory. These are not suggestions, believe me. They are absolute non-negotiables. But here's where it gets a little tricky, right? The rules use words like sufficient. What in the world does sufficient actually mean when an auditor is standing there in front of you with a clipboard? This is where you have to go beyond just reading the rules and start thinking about best practices. So the whole point is to turn those vague words into real, physical actions. Clean means using things like impermeable surfaces that you can actually sanitize properly. Orderly means having a physically separate, clearly labeled quarantine area for bad stock. For anything refrigerated, you absolutely must have a backup power plan. And don't just stick a thermometer on the wall. You've got to place your sensors in the hot spots, near doors, windows, vents, the places where temperature is most likely to go crazy. We've actually heard stories of audits being failed just because a sensor was put in the coldest part of the room, totally missing the heat spikes that were ruining product on the top shelf.
And hey, don't think this logic stops at the warehouse door. Your vehicles are basically just moving warehouses. They have to be clean, they have to protect from the weather, and they need electronic monitoring. And the SFDA is incredibly clear on one thing you see here. If your truck doesn't have a cover, it cannot carry medical devices. Period.